It's happening in some city, Volks, something, VO. You don't realize the scale of the magnitude of the massacre. This is a tweet put out by Ina Shevchenko. She's been on it. You should check out her stuff. But the headline says this: to those who gathered today for the summits, they're talking about the EU and the G7 and all that shit. Either you do not understand the scale of the massacre taking place in Ukraine, or you do not have the moral and political courage to stop it. Here are the pictures of Volnovakha. Volnovakha. So that's what's happening in Volnovakha. And Volnovakha, what do we know about Volnovakha's history? Volnovakha. I bet you it was populated by a bunch of people that weren't the Kievan Rus. Volnovakha, Ukrainian. It's a small city in the Ukraine. Population of 20,000. They're going after small towns. I guess it's easier to pick on small towns. During the invasion, much of the town's infrastructure is severely damaged. March 12, 2022, Governor of Donetsk stated that the town was completely destroyed. World War II, Soviet Union reported significant fighting in the area around Volnovakha during August and September 1943. And then the Russo-Ukrainian War, they're talking about the war in Donbass. 12 civilians were killed, 18 injured, attack on a passenger bus, and then some other things. So I don't know what happened in the very beginning of Volnovakha. I'm not for sure how it initiated. It says it's the map of the Donetsk. So let's check out the Donetsk region. I bet you we can find out the natives of the Donetsk. So Donetsk Oblast, you got a couple Russians over there. And it only starts in the 1920s, the history of the Donation Oblast. So what we know about Ukraine is that goddamn Mongolians and Ottomans, the Persians and the Russians and the Swedish Vikings and the Polish and the Germans and basically any and every fucking nation in the entire goddamn world has wanted to put their fucking hands on the beautiful Ukraine. Miss Ukraine. The whole fucking world wants a piece of Miss Ukraine. It's got a big land mass, all that land, right? Land's very valuable. They're not making any more of it. You got 46 million people. That's more than people that's in California. So you have a lot of human capital. You got a lot of land. And then, of course, there's going to be resources and minerals and what the fuck else ever. Ukraine's also right there in the middle, right? Nice borderlands, right? That's what the Ukraine is, the borderlands. So if you want to go to Russia, if you want to go to the Middle East, if you want to go to Africa, if you want to go to Australia, you want to go to Europe, the Ukraine is basically the crossroads for the entire goddamn world. If you look at a map, it's almost like they're perfectly situated right there. Humans have been in Africa for over 3 million years. They broke out of Africa 50,000 years ago. They would have gone straight to the Ukraine. So the Ukraine is right there in the middle of, the cradle of civilization in the beginning of all of mankind. Their history didn't just start in 1923. You could start at the very beginning with Darius, the first Persian king, tried to take over Scythia. And the way the Scythians had beat Darius was they just kept running away. The Scythians were a nomadic group of people that stuck to themselves. And they're Iranians too, so it was Iranian on Iranian. But Persian king Darius goes to Scythia to try to, steal from them. And then eventually, after chasing them for such a long time, he sends, a messenger out and says, what the hell is your problem? I'm trying to fight you here, you motherfucker. And then they're like, we have no beef with you. We don't have any cities. We don't have any land. There's no wealth for you to plunder. Why would you want to fight us? We have no beef with you unless you want to go steal the graves of our fathers. Unless you steal the graves of our fathers, there's no beef. We don't give a shit. You do your thing. And that makes me think that's probably how the Scythians were able to survive for such a long time. It also makes me think of the Cossacks, right? The Cossacks. So there is no nation state. Essentially, it was just a band of people that stuck together and said, we're going to stick to one another. There's solidarity. So the Scythians had solidarity. That's what saved them. they had solidarity. They didn't have land or cities. They had, big fat, a swath of area to run here and there and wherever the fuck they want to run. But being nomads, and yeah, so we got no beef with you. If you don't want to fight, don't fight. If you don't want to fight, you don't have to fight. So that's how the Scythians, the ancient Ukrainians, beat the Persians. Greece, Greece was there. The Scolati, the Romans. Give me a fucking break. Every goddamn nation in the fucking world, if you're smart, it's a valuable piece of real estate with a lot of human capital and a lot of minerals and probably oil and lots of other shit going on there. To the Dnieper River, they got waterways. It's fucking Ukraine. It's a big ass. Name it. Mesas, mountains, rivers, valleys.